Hey folks, this is Vince with Ads Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out For the King 2. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about $25. There is a 10% discount until November 9th, 2023, and there is an original game soundtrack available for about $7 that you can purchase separately. So I'm going to be upfront and honest with you folks. I mean, that's what I do. I don't play around, I don't sell out, I tell you exactly how I feel, and that's that. And if you don't like it, oh well. For the King 2, I stopped playing about a half an hour into it. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I'm not going to waste my time on a game that I find displeasurable. I'm sorry. So For the King 2, for those of you who don't know, is the follow-up to For the King 1. And in this game, you're going to be commanding a group of people. There's 4 party members in this game instead of 3, like in the original game. And you're going to go around the world questing. Now, there is a timer, meaning that you have to do certain things within a certain time, because if time runs out, then game over. That's one strike against it. I hate games that do that. I want an open world RPG experience. I don't like games that force you to do something specific. Another thing about this game is I feel like this is a follow-up to For the King 1, so I was hoping for a bit more variety in terms of classes. You've got a stable hand, an herbalist, a blacksmith, a hunter. There's like a total of 5 classes. And on top of that, you are given the option to equip them with different things. Unfortunately, when you do so, you cannot use the same item twice. So if you give the herbalist some healing items, a specific healing item, you can't give that to anybody else, which is kind of silly. I don't understand that. So if I give God's Beard, for example, to my herbalist, no one else can get that for the loadout. It's just kind of silly. So only one person gets a starting weapon. Like there's one starting weapon and one starting shield, and it just that decision was kind of weird. Now I did appreciate the fact that like you could set the difficulty and the starting loadout points. So for example, like each character gets 6 loadout points, and then you can spend that across these items whenever you're creating your characters. I like that idea. But the whole like limiting the setup to where it's only one type of item per person, it's just kind of silly. One of the biggest things that I just could not get over was that you activate each person in your party individually. This, because there's 4 people, this will slow down the game tenfold. So like, well, fourfold if you want to get, specific with it. And let's say you do, put someone, like you select a character, like whoever's turn it is, and you move them. Let's say you get ambushed. If your other party members are not around the area, there's a specific area, there's area of effect, and if the other party members are not in that area, you're fighting with that character by yourself against whoever ambushed you. So like you're forced to sort of go very slow with one character at a time so that you all stay in range at all times so that you don't get ambushed. And easily defeated. And even then, like your health will persist across combat, which is kind of silly. I don't like that. There's also a lot of dice rolling in this game. So, 30% chance of success, 65% chance of success. There's so much RNG in this, it's ridiculous. So like when I play a game, I look for, especially a sequel, I look for a game, did it improve upon the first game? And does it do something new and unique that the first one didn't? The only thing that I can see that's different about this game is, yes, there's 4 party members. And the combat. The combat is now this, like, melee ranged row kind of thing, where the front row is melee, second row in the back is ranged. And, there's a bit of, like, strategy there. And I kind of like that approach with it. But it's also extremely tedious. Like, other games do this. As soon as I started playing this, and I was about 10-20 minutes in, I'm like, I just want to load up Arcanium and play that. Arcanium, you can move around the map, all of your party members all at once. You don't have to individually move every single character in your party. That's just, to me, that's asinine. I'm sorry. And there's no real benefit for doing that. unless it's to like break up the party so that you can get over here real quick and get over here real quick and pick this up. But again, if you get ambushed, combat is pretty difficult, even on the easiest difficulty setting. And yes, it looks like your characters have 40 health, 30 health, whereas the enemies only have 8 or 10 or 15, whatever. But again, your health will persist from combat to combat. You don't automatically heal. And you only have so many healing items and stuff like that. So like, even on the, I didn't think that the difficulty settings really did a whole lot, in my opinion. I had it on an easier setting, and like the first combat, like, was fairly, I mean, I beat it, but it was fairly difficult. I mean, I lost a lot of health across a couple of, the one lady did like 15 damage to the one and splash damage 2 or 3 to the other. Like, it was pretty awful. I'm like, really? That was kind of high. So yeah, I wasn't impressed by this. I felt like this was more of an early access title than an actual finished game, in my opinion. So I don't recommend this. I'm sorry. For $25, no. I don't think the game does anything different enough to warrant that kind of price tag. It feels like more of the same. There's that mandatory timer. If you wait too long, you lose. I don't like that. Let me explore. Let me explore this world. Let me quest. Let me grind out levels. Let me find stuff. No, I gotta hurry because, you know, the timer tells me to. I can't even, there's no difficulty settings to really like tone it down or make it more lax or casual. So like, yeah, forget it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just not going to waste my time with this. There are other games out there that I'd rather be playing. So unfortunately, this is a pass for me. First impressions are bad. So don't treat this as a review. Treat this as somebody that, like, you know those games where you start playing it and you instantly say, you know what, this game is going to suck. Well, that's where I'm at with this. So I'm at that point with it. So you might like it. I most certainly don't. So hey, if this game suits your fancy, then by all means, check it out. But you'll get just as much pleasure out of playing the first one. I use the word pleasure loosely. Because there are other RPGs like this that do a much better job than this does and are less frustrating to play. So yeah, For the King 2 is a complete pass for me. I'm just not going to touch it. Sorry. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.